Hello, pet lovers. It's time for Marsie's Menagerie on 1480 WDJO. For the next hour, your host, pet care expert Marsie Newbold, and her trusty basset hound, Nosy, will share the latest information to help give your furry, feathery, and fitty friends the happiest and healthiest lives possible. You're invited to call in and ask questions of Marsie's guests. The number to call is 513-749-1480. Now, here's Marsie.
Hello? Is this thing on? Can you hear me? Testing. 1, 2, 3. Yes. Hello? Nosy, the basset hound here. Okay, welcome to Marsie's Menagerie on 1480 WDJO. My mama, Marsie, is in the bathroom because I set her watch back a little bit, because I'm a watchdog, you know. And she thinks she still has some time before the show starts. She's she's back there in the bathroom fluffing her hair and putting on some lipstick before she goes on the air. You know, I'm not sure why, because just being radio and all, she could just, have on her nightie and bunny slippers for all you out there would know. I mean, I guess I misspoke there, because I did chew her bunny slippers up a while back, so she doesn't really have them anymore. Oops, my bad. Well, before she gets here, I wanted to be the one to introduce our guests, because Mama's kind of a microphone hog, I mean, between you and me, I don't think she got nearly enough attention when she was growing up. So anyway, we're having a very special Marsie's Menagerie show today, and I am just nearly weeing myself with excitement. My tail just keeps wagging. Kevin, is this messing with your sound levels? Just wondering. Okay, well this morning, pet photographer Carol Losey of Carol Losey Photography's here, and she's going to share just all sorts of super duper tips on how you can get professional quality photos of your pets at home using your very own equipment. Not that I would know anything about that, because my parents are obsessed with taking my picture. Ever since I was a tiny puppy, they have taken photos of me sleeping, playing, jumping, running around in the snow, wrestling around in the leaves, posing me this way and that, and dressing me up in clothes. They even sent a gag photo of me pootieing and sent it to my Uncle Jim because he did something that they just, well, anyway, that was not funny. I don't like it very much. Well, I act like I don't like them taking my picture very much, but the truth is, okay, then don't tell them. I love my squeaky toy. I love, where was I? Okay. I love the attention and how happy it makes them, and especially all the treats they bribe me with. This is still. So, okay, then, Campbell County Sheriff Jeff Kidwell will stop by to tell you all about the great outreach programs that his office is sponsoring to help kids and pets. And, he's one of my favorite people in the whole wide world, because he made me an official Campbell County Sheriff's deputy dog and gave me a real badge with my name on it, and it even hangs on my collar. And my favorite funny uncle, Bob the producer Barry's gonna wait. I'm sorry, I keep playing with this toy, and I guess I shouldn't. Anyway, though, there's my tail. The Bob Barry, the producer, will weigh in with the lighter side of pet ownership with his latest heavy petting segment. And so, anyway, if you'd like to ask a question, hey, Nosy, what's going on there? Oh, Nosy. Oh, sorry. Oh, this is Marsie. I'm sorry. What? I can't believe this. Well, all right. If you want to ask a question, phone us at 513-749-1480. Our lines are open now. Well, this is a fine how do you do. This Nosy. All right, friend me on my Facebook page. Nosy. Okay, it is Marsie Newbold, and it's MarsiehAll, Newbold, where you can link to videos, podcasts, recipes, and all sorts of fun things. You can also go to YouTube and type in Marsie's Menagerie, and you'll find videos of all of our past shows. My husband, Tom Newbold, does that for us. Oh, well, all right, Nosy has gotten me off of my game, but I shall persevere. So let's start the show. I'd like to welcome, there's Carol Losey of Carol Losey Photography. Welcome, Carol.
Thank you for having me.
Why didn't you stop her? I had no idea what was going on.
I don't think there's stopping Nosy at all.
Really?
Yeah, I think she's kind of a force to be reckoned with.
She's, 71.5 pounds. Too much skin and not enough puppies, some people say.
And she's too cute to stop.
So I understand that you are a pet photographer. What is that?
As a pet photographer, I specialize in taking professional portraits of your dog or cat or whatever little critter you happen to own. And it's like getting a portrait done of a person, only it's your pet. And I do natural lifestyle type of photography. So I do it on location in natural light. I don't have a studio set up, so I try and capture in your yard or at your favorite park or city scene.
Well, how do you become a professional pet photographer? I mean, were you always interested in photography, like when you were a little kid?
Yes, I grew up with photography. My dad was a photographer, and he owned a camera store. I grew up with photography. Every Christmas morning, I can remember waiting for Dad to get the equipment set up before we could go out to get our presents, yes. And when I was 14, my dad gifted me with my first real 35mm camera. Oh. And then I started taking pictures for the high school newspaper. And
where'd you go to school?
I went to Deer Park High School.
Oh, so you're from here?
Yes. Grew up in Cincinnati and have always lived in the Cincinnati area.
What was the name of the paper, the Deer Park paper?
Oh, I don't remember. Isn't that terrible?
Really? I went to Highlands High School in Fort Thomas, and I was the features editor of the Hilltopper. I thought that was one of my coolest jobs, and I even got one of those little pins for the what is it? The pen and scroll, quill and scroll. It's a little
cool.
honor society. I don't know how I squeaked through that because I was more interested in boys than studying. But have you had pets in your personal life? Did you grow up with pets?
I grew up with pets starting in junior high school. We got our first dog, Romeo, and he was a little apricot poodle, and loved him to death. And then from then on, I've had a dog or cat in my life, except back in 2010, my husband and I, we were soon to be empty nesters. We had just lost our Hillary dog.
Oh.
I know. And we wanted to try and go dogless for a while because we thought, we could travel and do all this stuff, without a pet tying us down. Well, I lasted about 3 months before I really felt I needed a dog in my life. And it took a little bit to convince my husband, but we ended up adopting 2 puppies, Lucy and Buttercup. And that was really when I took a strong interest in pet photography. I wanted to get better pictures of them, and just started looking on the internet at pet photography, dog photography, looked at pet photographers all around the country, and found a couple that I really liked their style, because there are different styles of pet photography as there are any kind of photography.
Well, what makes a good pet photo?
I think when you can capture the essence of your pet. For Nosy, if you can capture her look that she gives, capture her wonderful basset ears, and just, you get the look in their eye that comes to life in a photograph.
Well, you certainly did it. When I first met Carol just a few weeks ago at the, what is that called? The Bark Out Against Battering,
Pet Fest,
the YWCA
and the SPCA,
and it was at Washington Park, and I was one of the judges for the pet they had a pet parade and pet costume contest, and everybody was dressed up for Halloween. And Carol had a booth, and she was walking around. She was taking photos for free of people's pets, and I had been looking for a pet photographer. I wanted to do a show on pet photography, because if you are anything like my husband and I, we follow Nosy around every. It is absolutely crazy. I have to admit to being a stage mom. We have more photos of, well, it's a good thing we don't have human children, because I'll tell you, we would have no photos of them. Carol, tell everybody how what the number one secret that how you drew me in and we became friends for life. Will you demonstrate?
It was, yes, one of these,
and those are.
They're bird calls or animal calls that I use to get the attention of the dog.
She has a lanyard with 5 of these around her neck.
Yes.
And when she blew on one of them, Nosy looked up at her, and she got a photo, and it's on my Facebook page, Marsie Hall Newbold. So go to that and friend me. You will just faint when you see the expression on Nosy's face. I cannot thank her enough for what she did. It's because usually because Tom and I have to break up dog biscuits and hold little treats over the camera and beg. We went to Chris Seelbach's office when he was running for council, his campaign office, and Nosy picked up a T-shirt, and they have a photo, and we have a photo of Chris holding Nosy, and you can see Tom and I in the mirror behind him, behind them, holding, just doing like a little dance, doing anything to get her attention. And I mean, talk about, on Saturday Night Live last night they did a skit about helicopter parents. They were doing a dance. Their child was supposed to be on stage. Well, I have to admit, I you know how they always say you should see yourself as others see you? Well, I saw us, and you know what? I'm not ashamed. I'm not ashamed at all. So, anyway, we're going to be back in just a few minutes with Carol Losey. She's going to answer some questions about pet photography. But if you have a question for her, phone 513-749-1480. You're listening to Marsie's Menagerie on 1480 WDJO.
Where?
All right.
Now you're going to really get into the tips.
Harley-Davidson customized road.
Oh, and this is going to be my Martha Stewart.
This one-of-a-kind custom Harley
you want
has all the
you want to do her now instead of Bob? Because I'm coming back with Bob.
Okay, you can come back with Bob.
It's very short. He's only got like 2 minutes.
Okay, come back with Bob, and then I'll go back with questions.
Purchase tickets online at marvinsharley.com. Plus, there are a number
Alright,
of
so
prizes
what
you can win.
equipment should the
Chipotle
photographer
for a
have?
year.
How are we misusing the equipment we already have? What about lighting? Getting them to sit still? And also, I want to ask about your pet outreach and rescue.